market update is brought to you by FX Pro. The market update is brought to you by FX Pro.
Record breaker today.
At the heart of the trading day,
we have a market alert.
when powerful people meet,
And all eyes here in Washington now.
important deals are broken,
And the S&P at an all-time high today.
and news is made.
We have breaking news now.
Silicon Valley with some breaking news.
Power Lunch, weeknights at 1900 CET on CNBC.
Watching CNBC Squawk on the Street, live from the financial capital of the world. The opening bell in just about 2 minutes. Busy Tuesday with some economic data, but a busy day for the president. Intel briefing, meeting with some county sheriffs, a Veterans Affairs listening session before a meeting with Rex Tillerson later today. It's weird. Yesterday, the news flow compared to the last couple of weeks was pretty moderate. Hard to get back to that pace.
It's really interesting to say because I went home last night. And there's, of course, no Monday Night Football. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so let's go over what happened. Where are the conference calls? It was like, wow. I mean, it was just a vacuum. It was really weird because it was like the first day there was a vacuum in a long time. So I went over the Hasbro call because what Brian Goda said, because you must get out of the mall. And then you look at this quarter's going down, and Hanesbrand just pulled from Credit Suisse buy list. Hanesbrand uniquely impacted, not immune from secular headwinds. Secular, by the way, for the people who don't know, business means sell. Secular headwinds, sell. Secular headwinds. That means that the world has changed.
Yep.
And anyone who's connected even with traffic, street traffic, not doing that well.
The story in retail last few days has been management change at Ralph Lauren, Tiffany, Abercrombie. Today it's Teva, though, a different sector, but executive chairman becomes interim CEO. You're going to do this later, Dave?
Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about Teva as well because there's more going on to the story than just that, potentially, in terms of their debt load and everything else at Teva, but certainly worth noting. And the stock is down, of course. Yeah, Era's Goodman out. New guy in for now, but it's so interesting, and this is what I want to touch on a bit later, the relationship between Teva and Mylan and Perrigo, where we also have news, and Allergan. So worth going into. Well, remember, they're all connected.
Allergan
and Valley.
Allergan has
connect them all.
A ton of Teva stock.
Yeah.
Oil's the other story this morning, down about 75 cents after some reports show hedge funds with a record net long position trying to play these production cuts, geopolitics with Iran.
I still like oil, but yeah, absolutely. I
Systems, highlighting its fight against cancer. At the NASDAQ, the Ethisphere Institute kicking off its Gender Diversity Forum today in New York City. So we'll keep an eye on GM to start. We should mention record pre-tax profit in North America, 18% share.
Yeah,
North
I mean,
America.
GM, it's one of those things where it's almost boilerplate caution that we're getting from a lot of companies, and it's just what they have to do. The world is an uncertain place. But I see a lot of stocks that, there's an upgrade of Caterpillar today by Barclays saying, look, you got to get in now. I mean, things are going to get better, but I don't think, but remember, how many times has Cat told you it's not getting better? So you got to go against, sometimes you got to go against what the companies are saying. And that makes it really tough. Tough to say to us on a cyclical, listen, we don't see the world better. And the analysts say, wait a second, you're too negative. That's the story with Caterpillar.
Yeah. This back and forth with Arconic, Jim, which you've been all over, just continues. The Journal reporting First Pacific Advisors is in favor of the Elliott.
Is that early that someone is siding with Elliott?
Maybe a little, and then Arconic itself coming out with a statement saying Elliott is restating its own financial analysis.
They
posted no fewer than 5 versions of their shareholder presentations, each with significantly restated calculations. This will go on, the back and forth here. It's sort of I want to call it a sideshow, but the question is Klaus Kleinfeld in trouble?
Well, I think that you need, remember DuPont when you had all those different, like BlackRock, the kind of autopilot guys? If the autopilot guys stay on autopilot, I would say no.
Right.
If the autopilot, big, just passives?
Well, the index funds, the passive investors who typically own the most of any of these companies, but don't really, they outsource the whole corporate governance play.
He's safe if that's the case, even though there are lots of, First Pacific was big. I've got their letter. They're against Klaus Kleinfeld. This change in the valuation of what Elliott's using, I regard it as minor. Arconic's playing it up very big. But I do say that if you need some of these passive or less interested fund managers to come out, because I don't think they have the numbers right now.
As you're talking, guys, NASDAQ record high, and the Dow joining it, hitting 2125 or so. That is a fresh record for the Dow, largely on the back of Caterpillar, which did get an upgrade today to overweight.
Yeah,
Barclays.
I thought that was an amazing upgrade. Look at this Boeing. I mean, some of these companies, I don't think people realize, because I think that a lot of them just say, well, look, Trump, and Trump's weak, and right now it's a bad week for Trump, good week. We grade Trump every day. But the fact is, Boeing has huge cash flow. And the cash flow is the big determinant of this quarter. Boeing's cash flow, Comcast cash flow, Caterpillar surprising cash flow.
True. I mean, but on Boeing, we started off the show actually just having those comments from the Chinese, what was the Chinese foreign minister?
Very interesting. Boeing needs China.
Boeing needs China in an enormous way, right? What China splits their orders basically 50-50 right now, Airbus, Boeing. What if that changed?
No, that would be very.
That would be suboptimal, wouldn't it?
It would be ill-advised if you were going to really come down the Chinese in terms of Boeing. But if I think that Trump is interested in saving certain industries or bringing back manufacturing, but Boeing is the great manufacturer in this country, so be careful. That's me saying be careful.
Right. Well, that is a key consideration, isn't it? Where things really are going to go with the U.S. and China.
Well, I've always felt that Boeing is a superior company versus Airbus, but that Airbus is a subsidized institution. Because of the XM subsidized, I think Boeing does it on sheer brains. I am very pro Boeing. TransDigm better than expected quarter. I know that was a little controversial in terms of the aerospace. That's Andrew Left number. I'm just pointing out that Boeing is the leader time and again in this market, and we don't,